Blessings, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be in your company. I'm so happy today to be here to share my little testimony. So, anyway, guys, I'm so excited because you know what? This journey has been opening my eyes daily, and it's something I struggle with is consistency, as you guys can see, right? With the videos, and I'm so sorry. Promise to get back on the horse 2 times a week, and if I'm led to, even more. But I started this, and I've already seen the benefits of it. And I've listened to a lot of other YouTubers, on the way to manifest and the way to rise your vibration, and the way to walk in the blessing. And so I started to apply, and like I can say one of my friends, suggested that why don't you walk into the spirit of gratitude, and I started to do that. You know, I would wake up now being grateful for the things I have, and the things that are going on with me, as small as they may be. Because before I wasn't so grateful, even though the universe has been so good to me. Listen to me, if I can just start off by saying the things that sometimes I wasn't even aware of me saying or even thinking, and it was happening, you know. But last week, I decided to, go with this gratitude, spirit. And this may be small for some, but when I see it manifest so quickly, it really was an encouragement for me to pursue on this path that I'm on for about 60 days. So it's a 60 days path that I decided to do, and I'm on it. Today is day 7. And so I'm gonna share this. So I was like I do part of side jobs on the side or whatever. And the building that we're living in, it's a lot of elderly people, and so sometimes, you know, they'd ask me to come and do little chores for them, and I would do it for pay. Sometimes I do feel guilty taking the pay from them, but at that time, I'm not really, I don't have like a full-time job, so that's what I do. So there was this old lady that I went to start at the house where she was prior, and the house that she was prior, um, I worked at. I was like, oh my god, this is so much work. And so I just was thinking to myself. I said, boy, I don't know. I said, so I gave myself a mandate. I said, you gotta finish this within this amount of time. Done. You're gonna come back here, whatever. And that was the mandate I gave myself. So the first day I went, I didn't get to finish because I have my own stuff I have to be dealing with here. And if you know old people, they're not that patient. So I did what I could in the space of the time, and I had to return. So on my way, I was like, oh my god, you know what? I need a Kleenex. Kleenex, like a facial tissue, just a box of facial tissue. I usually get them, but I wait for a special to get them. But I did, for some reason I wasn't getting any specials, any special deal to get any. So like whenever I have to find a special, then I'll get it. If not, then I just won't get it. But I have tissue at home, so I usually just have the Kleenex or the facial tissue. as you may say, it's just like to blow your nose, and especially the weather was changing. I was like, you're gonna need this. So the old lady had like a box of Kleenex in her car, and as she kept, because they're old, so their nose are running and all that stuff, and her husband nose is running, and she kept pulling in the box that she had on the side of her. She drove me to her old place to help. And as she kept cleaning her nose, and as we pulled into the parking lot, I was like, you know what, I need a box of Kleenex. I don't know where I'm gonna get it. I just need a box of Kleenex. And before we parked, as soon as we parked the car, I thought about it was like 5 minutes into the parking lot, and as soon as we parked the car in 5 minutes, can I tell you, she's like, "Hey, you want a box of Kleenex?" Say what? Mind you, the type of person that I was, I grew up in a prideful place. Most Haitians are very prideful. So before people would ask me if I want this or want that, I'd be like, no, I don't want it, right? And then I got to the point I'm like, you are losing out on your blessings by you being stupid, by you allowing pride and whatever other reason to keep you from receiving stuff. So when she asked me what it is, I was like, what? I was like, I got to just ask for this. I just thought about it and I said, I need a box of Kleenex. I said, she had, I guess, a few, like she probably bought it a club pack and she got a few boxes and she's like, yeah, yeah, if you want one, you could have one. And that's all of my Kleenex. Then when I finished the job, I was like, I felt guilty. I said, I don't want to charge this old woman so much money. I know they're just we're living on pension. Even though some people here at the building will be like, oh, this one has money. But it's just that my conscience sometimes won't allow me to, to, to take from, especially elders, because I look at them as fragile. And so I did the job and I said, you know what, I'm going to charge it this because I don't want to charge it too much, because I even thought what I was charging it was a bit too much. But when I thought about the work and the hours that I put in, I calculated and I said, okay, it's okay because this would be the usual amount that I would do. Like if I was to go to the house or whatever, including I would charge a certain rate. And so I said, so I calculated and I said, okay, it's $10 less from what I would do. I calculated the hours and I said, okay, this it's okay, babe. So, but I got in the car and finished my work. I was like, it'd be good if she gave me this amount. I was just saying it jokingly in my mind. I was like, it'll be good if she just gave me this amount. So when she was about to pay, she said, you want to pay it now? I said, okay. I said, and I told her the total that I wanted. And she's like, that's it? That's all you want? I'm like, what? I'm like, isn't that too much? She's just like, no. Can you fathom? The amount that I thought was the exact amount that the lady took out of her purse to give me. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is, it's like, since I've been on my journey, there's a few stuff that I've been see once I stayed aligned, yes. There's a few stuff that I've seen that was always coming into pass. Like it was, I would think of someone and, this person would call or before someone even, like again, I do a lot, I do a lot of little side jobs. So I do a little side job, and sometimes my customers is like I'm serving. So my customers before they even ask for something, I would be like, oh my goodness, I would have it already, and then they'd be like, what kind of shock sometimes because like, cause I didn't even say it, and she thought I. So I'm like, we are really all connected. When we think about it, telepathically, we are because I can think something and the other person know what it is, or the other person can think something and I know. And so, listen, I really encourage everyone to try. the source of life for yourself. Try to find yourself in this space, remembering that we all are connected. It's a reason why we as humans sometimes yearn or crave for another human's attention. If we're honest with ourselves, of course, because some people are not. And you're like, oh, I like being alone. Oh, I don't need nobody, and But the truth is, we yearn for interaction. And one thing that I'm working on right now is love. I know prior to videos that I have shared, I said love thyself. The Bible does say love yourself as you love others as you love yourself, because there's a strong mandate when it comes to us loving ourselves. When we love ourselves, we really don't care about other people. Sometimes we become so loving of ourselves that we become selfish. But I think that's why the Bible said it that way. Love thy neighbors as you love yourself. So as much as you love yourself, you should be able to love others. And it comes down to my journey has led me this week into the path of loving, because like I said before, I'm very controlling, and it's something I'm trying to work on. And so if things are not going my way, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, oh, you know. But I realize that because we all are connected, even if you have your own opinion, even if you're a criminal or you've done something that's so horrific, we have to get ourselves to a point to love that person in spite of, like, in spite of what they may have done to you. Or and it brings me back. I'm sorry that I'm in tears, is because the other day I was just talking to someone about how much Jesus, the story of Jesus, how much they portray. And the reason why I bring Jesus up is because I feel so the story of Jesus is a light for us, for everyone. It's a path it's a path of righteousness. Like, Jesus came to show us the way, the truth, and the light. That's what the Bible says. He came to show us the way, the truth, and the life. And so the Bible gives us the story and an example of Jesus and the way he lived and the way that he loved his fellow brothers and sisters, that he died for them. He sacrificed himself for them. And in spite of him knowing that his enemy was sitting right next to him, a person like me, trust me, I'm still working on myself. For me to know that my enemy was sitting right next to me, I couldn't sit at the table comfortably. I couldn't, because I would be so irritated and so angry. You know, I couldn't be true sitting there with my enemy. I couldn't. But for him to do it, sit with his enemy, eat with his enemy, and then die for these same people that rejected him. And the reason why I share the story is because that is where we have to be. We have to get to a point that love has filled us so much that we will love our enemies. We will be willing to die for a total stranger. Love is the key. It opens all doors. And I find that gratitude, they're all connected to love. Because if you love life or you love the things that you're getting out of life, you develop a gratitude for it. You become grateful for it. And I realize that all of these work together. Peace. When you have peace, you have joy. When you have joy, you're in harmony. And this harmony gives you this love. And this love gives you this gratitude for everything that's around you. So, this is where my video is done. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. I pray for peace, joy, and harmony for everyone that's watching. I love you guys. Have a good